Science Open is a freely accessible online platform where you can really do anything and everything as a researcher. You can publish there, you can put your preprints there, you can draft stuff there, bring it out in the open for open peer review. There's also a whole process for post-publication peer review. In short, it is a single Danzel platform that does all the fashionable things that people want nowadays in STM publishing. I give the floor to Stephanie Dawson, the COO. Please, Stephanie, tell us more about it.
Thank you. Learned on short notice that I got to give the talk today, but I'm really happy to be here. We started, Alexander Grossman, myself, and the other founder of the company, Tibor Čeke, have been in publishing for a long time and started having the feeling that the publishing industry is under a great deal of pressure to change. I think everybody in the room would agree with that statement, that the internet is changing the scholarly publishing paradigm, whether we want to or not, whether we help it, whether we try to direct that change. We see, because we see a very rapid exchange of digital information, scientific networking and blogging, and also the rise of non or questionably peer-reviewed literature. I saw a wonderful talk at the Berlin 11 conference where somebody said publishing is in many ways no longer a profession but a button. So you can immediately publish anything that you want to on the internet. So the question is how to deal with this new medium. And so our conclusion that we came to is that scholarly research is becoming increasingly open. Just the very fact of the internet is pushing towards open access and also pushing towards a public peer review. Just that kind of quality control being moved out into the open. So we decided to do something about that, start a new company, try and harness that energy. So our mission statement, we sat down with a blank piece of paper and said, what do we believe in? We believe that is necessary to really rethink publishing in the context of the internet. We believe that the free access to knowledge will drive creativity, innovation, development worldwide. We believe that facilitating open and public communication between academics is the best way to ensure quality, and we are strongly committed to open access. So here's the quick look at the product of our brainstorming. Here's the landing page of our new site, Science Open, that we just launched the beta version in December. And the question that we ask also here on this page, what is Science Open? So you enter the page and you're like, okay, what can it do? What features does it have? We have 4 main blocks that we have: access, network, organize, and publish. Because we do want to look at this act of publishing, of making something public, like I said, in a more global context of scientific communication. So the question, what is Science Open? A journal, a research network, a preprint archive. We are in some ways a journal where you can manage peer review, manuscript editing, make your work public. At our core, we are an open access publisher. We offer a gold open access publishing model, high quality publishing services that we will charge a publication fee for. But in order to offer that service, we feel like there's a lot of new open access journals out there. So why start another new open access journal? I think if we were just starting another new open access journal, I wouldn't be standing up here as a new .com to watch. But we wanted to put that in a bigger context. So we are also a research network, a networking platform where you can collaborate with scientists, where you can follow scientists, where you can exchange information and news. We've seen that Twitter is a very helpful tool in getting your research seen, read, downloaded. We saw Facebook, some people are using, but my sense is, talking to a lot of scientists, is that scientists are not using these kinds of more global networking tools that much. So we felt like a more focused scientific research network, that there's a place for that. I mean, of course, there's also ResearchGate, and that would be in that aspect main, competitor. And preprint archive. So there's been a lot of new preprint archives that were just started last year. BioArchive, PeerJ has preprints. So what's the advantages of a preprint archive? To shorten publication times, to reach a broader audience, to consult peers for additional input in a more open setting, to get feedback before or while your paper is going to market, and also to make it available maybe during embargo periods, things like that. So that's one of the advantages that we would see with a preprint archive. And we would like to combine all of those advantages in our platform. So we regard ourselves as a research and publishing network, and aim to offer a single, freely accessible online platform to efficiently share and evaluate scientific information. How will we do that? What do we want to offer? As I said, we want to make it a freely accessible platform where you can evaluate information in a post-publication way. So we aggregate open access articles from a number of sources. We link to arXiv, and we import the PubMed central open access data set. So we have roughly 1 million articles right now on the system that people can discuss and evaluate and give their opinion on. Only open access, because that's our main focus. So we didn't want to anybody on Science Open to run into a paywall. We also offer networking functions, so you can set up a personal profile to network with other scientists. You can use that network to organize your scientific communication. So we have some places that you can follow other scientists, write news. With the personal profile, though, we're working closely with ORCID, so we realize that there's too many places where people are required to update a profile, and if you have to update, if you're a researcher who publishes 40 papers a year and you have to update every profile with every time you write a new paper, this is going to be really not manageable. So we are linked directly to ORCID. You just sign up on your ORCID account, you update your ORCID profile. Your ORCID profile is used to create your Science Open profile, just to keep that simple. We also offer a workspace tools, private collaborations. I have, even myself, I'm using them now all the time because I hate sorting emails into different folders in my inbox. So that's one of the things, to have collaboration on a single topic, have all of the comments right there, everybody can use them, is something that, talking to researchers, we heard that is something that people would be very interested in using. And then publishing. Our publishing service is based upon here. You can publish your final manuscript very rapidly. So if somebody wants to publish with Science Open, we do an editorial check to make sure that it's some reasonable information, scientific paper, and then we publish it immediately online. We offer high-quality publishing services, publish the paper, and then afterwards do an open peer review after publication. In this way, we can be very fast in getting the research out there, and this was one of the things when we're thinking about how can you combine this preprint server advantages with the publishing advantages. With the rise of preprint servers also comes up this question, I mean, what if somebody first publishes something on a preprint and somebody publishes right after in a proper journal, which is first? Who gets that credit for that? So that's one of the things that we would like to do, is just say publish it. It doesn't really make sense to make this distinction preprint published in this internet world. If it's one-time public, it has a DOI that's registered with Crossref, it's citable, but then during this time you can peer review, do revisions, and improve the work based on the comments of the peers. But for that we need also an active community to also do that kind of open peer review. Who's behind Science Open? We are an independent startup company. We're based in Berlin and Boston, founded last year. The founders are Alexander Gossmann, a physicist and professor of publishing in Leipzig, and Tibor Czeke, also in the publishing business for a long time. He was here last year, information scientist and software developer. So we have in Boston our technical team and in Berlin our editorial team. And so our business concept, we have free services, access and browse, network and workspace, and then we have publishing charges if somebody really wants to make their publish with Science Open, that we offer the same high quality publishing services that they could expect from a publisher. We had our beta launch in December, and that is including the access. So we've got, like I said, roughly a million open access articles, and the functions of browsing, networking, commenting, and organizing are all functional. In April 2014, we have our really real release with our publishing interface and some further functionalities. So we're still working and gathering right now feedback from all of our users and getting our publishing services up and running. Yeah, so that's in a nutshell, or we have really bitten off a lot. We really want to do a lot. We didn't want to just start another new open access journal, but really to rethink how does the internet change the way scientific publishing could and should work.